Hello there, America. TikTok, the app that's either a delightful distraction or a tool of communist espionage depending on who you ask, is once again in hot water. As of January 19, 2025, unless our black-robed overlords in the Supreme Court step in, TikTok could vanish from your phones faster than a decent joke in a Guy Fieri show. The reason? A law that aims to force ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent company, to sell the app. Why? Because apparently nothing screams national security threat like teenagers doing the gritty. On January 9, 2025, the Supreme Court heard arguments from both sides. It's a classic showdown. Freedom of speech versus the government's paranoia about what those darn Chinese are up to. This isn't TikTok's first rodeo with a potential ban, mind you. Back in the good old days of 2020, then President Trump tried to banish the app to the digital shadow realm. He even gave us the beautiful image of Microsoft potentially buying TikTok, which would be like your grandpa trying to join a mosh pit. But now, Trump's back in the game, though in a slightly different role. He's asking the court to pump the brakes on the ban, not because he's suddenly become TikTok's biggest fan, but because he thinks his incoming administration can strike a deal. Stay tuned, folks, this is about to get weirder. Section 2, a nation divided, security versus free speech. Now let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the panda in the room. The Biden administration is all about keeping this ban in place. Why? National security, of course. They argue that China could get its grubby little hands on your data through TikTok and use it for nefarious purposes. But here's the kicker. Even the government admits there's zero evidence that China has actually done anything shady with TikTok data. It's like accusing your neighbor of stealing your mail because they own a mailbox, even though your mail is still sitting safely in your mailbox. On the other side of the courtroom we have TikTok, ByteDance, and a whole bunch of angry teenagers who just want to watch synchronized dance routines in peace. They argue that this ban is a big fat violation of their First Amendment rights. And you know what? They might actually have a point. The First Amendment protects our freedom of speech, and that includes the stuff we post online. Banning an entire platform because of vague fears about a foreign government feels a bit like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut, wouldn't you say? Section 3, the Trump card, a political gambit. Donald Trump, never one to miss an opportunity to insert himself into a headline. He's gone from wanting to ban TikTok to wanting to delay the ban, all in the span of a few years. What's behind this sudden change of heart? Well, according to his legal team, it's all about his deal-making expertise. You see, Trump believes that his incoming administration, with its yet-to-be-determined policies and priorities, can somehow broker a deal that satisfies everyone. It's a bold claim, even for a man who once suggested injecting bleach as a COVID-19 treatment. But let's not forget that Trump's interest in TikTok goes beyond just national security. Back in 2020, he was reportedly furious when TikTok users sabotaged his rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, by reserving tickets and then not showing up. Is it possible that his desire to delay the ban is driven, at least in part, by a desire to avoid a repeat of such an embarrassing incident? Only time will tell. One thing's for sure though, with Trump involved, this whole saga is about to get a whole lot more unpredictable. Section 4, the verdict. What's next for TikTok? So, what's the final verdict? Will TikTok live to dance another day? Or will it be banished to the digital graveyard alongside Vine and MySpace? As of right now, it's all up to the 9 robed figures who hold the fate of the internet in their hands. The Supreme Court has a big decision to make. They need to decide how much scrutiny to apply to this law. If they apply strict scrutiny, which is the highest level of judicial review, the ban is toast. But if they go with a lower level of scrutiny, well, things could get a bit dicey for TikTok. And the worst part? We have to wait for their decision. The suspense is killing us. It's like waiting for the results of a pregnancy test, except instead of a baby, it's the fate of an app that's become a cultural phenomenon. Whatever the outcome, this case has major implications for the future of free speech in the digital age. So buckle up, America, because this ain't over yet.